During the Middle Ages, a Mongol Khan ruled over Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Moldova, and Caucasus for approximately 200 years. Known as the Golden Horde, they maintained their nomadic customs while ruling over a large area and establishing political, cultural, and economic regions. This multi-ethnic empire was part of the larger Mongol Empire and had a significant impact on the region. But who were the people of the Golden Horde? In 1206, a charismatic Mongol leader named Temujin from the steppe region south of Lake Baikal established the Mongol Empire. His leadership was cemented when he was elected Genghis Khan of a federation of tribes on the Onan River. By the time of his death in 1227, his empire spanned over 11 million square miles. 6 months before Genghis Khan died, his eldest son, Jochi, passed away. Jochi had been given command of the western part of the Mongol Empire, and on his death, the lands were split between his sons. Orda, the eldest, inherited the eastern portion of his father's kingdom and established the White Horde. His younger brother, Batu, established his control over the western half and the territory that would become known as the Golden Horde. In 1235, Batu was named Batu Khan when he was elected commander-in-chief of the western part of the Mongol Empire. Batu was then put in charge of expanding the Mongol Empire farther west into Europe. Just 5 years later, he conquered Russia, sacking and burning Russia's major city at the time, Kiev. After that, Moscow gradually became the center of Russian national life in the 14th and 15th centuries. Batu then headed into Central Europe, defeating an army containing some of Europe's most promising Christian knights, including the Teutonic Knights, the Hospitallers, and the legendary Templars. By the end of the year, the Mongols controlled Poland, Bohemia, Hungary, and the Danube Valley. The Mongols' European invasion came to a halt around 1242 when Batu, having received news of the death of his uncle, Ogadai Khan, abandoned the invasion in order to participate in the choice of a successor. There was some disagreement about the next great Khan of the Mongols, and Ogadai's widow took control as regent while the Mongol princes vied for power. Many historians believe Batu stalled his return in order to delay the election of the next Khan. By 1242, the territory of the Golden Horde had stretched from the Danube to the Chu River. By 1243, Batu's dominance in the region was evident, as around this time, Yaroslav, the Grand Prince of Vladimir, submitted to Batu in order to confirm his office. During the next few years, Daniel of Galicia followed suit and yielded to Batu. Batu forced the submission of most of the region, but when Michael of Chernigiv refused to pay homage to the Mongol leader, he was executed. In 1246, Gayuk, Ogadai's son, was elected to be the next great Khan, which some believe to be down to the political maneuverings of his mother. Batu and Gayuk had never seen eye to eye, and Batu refused to attend the Kurultai where Gayuk was proclaimed great Khan. Although Gayuk may have wanted to continue the Mongol conquest of Europe, his rivalry with Batu complicated things. In 1248, just as it seemed a Mongol civil war would break out between the two, Gayuk died. After Gayuk's death, Batu refused to support anyone from Ogadai's line, which opened up the succession to the family of Ogadai's younger brother, Tathlui. In 1251, Tathlui's eldest son, Monka, was elected Khan. Due to Batu's role in paving the way for Tathlui to become the great Khan, Batu was able to establish his and his family's dominance in Eastern Europe and rule over the Golden Horde. Some historians speculate that the origins of the name Golden Horde came from the color of Batu's tent. In contrast, others cite that it was always associated with the Genghis family, who were known as the Golden Family. In Mongol culture, colors were also associated with the cardinal directions, which is the most commonly accepted reason for the names of the Mongol hordes, with gold being used to denote the center. Although the Mongols abandoned their plans to move farther into Europe, the Golden Horde remained a significant presence in Eastern Europe. Around 1255, Batu died. He was succeeded by his son, Satak, who died not long after he was made Khan. Many postulate that Batu's brother, Burka, poisoned Sartak, as Burka had designs on taking leadership for himself. In 1257, Burka, who was not favored by the current great Khan, Monka, placed a young boy named Ulachi on the throne. According to various sources, Ulachi, who was either the brother or son of Sartak and Batu's wife, Barakchin, was tasked with acting as regent. Knowing that Monka would never support his accession to Khan, Burka apparently saw his opportunity when Monka was distracted by his campaign against the Song dynasty. Ulakshi suddenly and mysteriously vanished. Barakshan was accused of treason and executed, and Burka took the title of Khan. From 1259 to 1260, Burka and General Borodai conducted a second invasion of Poland, sacking the cities of Sandomierz, Krakow, Lublin, Zawichost, and Bytom. The invasion was in response to the rebellion of King Daniel of Galicia, who had tried to expel the Mongols from his territory. The invasion allowed the Golden Horde to subjugate the kingdom of Galicia-Volhynia and wipe out the anti-Mongol alliance in the area. The Horde also acquired riches from the invasion, looting everything they could and enslaving around 10,000 Poles. In 1260, a civil war broke out in the Mongol Empire between Kublai Khan and his younger brother Arik Boka. It was a war of succession, as Mongke Khan died without declaring a successor. Burka sided with Arik, but soon another internal war erupted between Burka and the Mongol leader Hulagu, who had been given the task of capturing Iran by the late Mongke Khan. Burka was the first Mongol ruler to convert to Islam, and he is often seen as the religion's savior. Although how, why, and when he converted is a mystery, and an apparent anomaly in the Mongol world at the time. Some historians postulate that his mother was the daughter of Muhammad II of Khwarezm, who had been captured. Subsequently, Burka would have been raised as a Muslim. At roughly the same time that Burka took control of the Golden Horde, Hulagu was wreaking havoc in the Muslim world, founding the Ilkhanid dynasty. Burka objected to Hulagu's campaign against the Islamic countries and was especially offended by the destruction of Baghdad. Furthermore, relations between Burka and Hulagu, as with most of the Mongol princes, had always been strained, primarily due to a clash of egos. During Hulagu's campaigns in Baghdad, he had been accompanied by representative princes from the Golden Horde, whom he was forbidden to harm as they were members of the royal family. This was a common practice throughout the Mongol Empire to ensure cooperation among the various branches of the Genghis dynasty. After Mongke's death, at least 2 of the 3 princes were accused of sorcery, and Hulagu asked Burka for permission to punish them. While Burka agreed, he did not realize the severity of Hulagu's intended punishment. He was rightfully angered when he found out Hulagu had executed them. With the central government of the Mongol Empire in disarray due to the infighting between Kublai and Arik Boka, Hulagu began seizing regions that were traditionally under the rule of the Golden Horde. In early 1262, Burka responded by mobilizing his troops, setting out to march against Hulagu in the spring with his grandnephew, commander-in-chief and fellow Muslim Nogai. At first, it seemed Hulagu's forces had successfully repelled the army of the Golden Horde, and in January 1263, Burka's camp was found deserted on the north bank of the frozen Terek River. The Golden Horde had abandoned their possessions and tents and apparently fled to the steppe. Hulagu's armies were rewarded with days of drinking and cavorting in the camp. As Hulagu's men were nursing a 3-day hangover, Burka and Nogai returned with their force and began to massacre the still inebriated men. In a panic, Hulagu's men started to flee across the river, but the frozen surface was not enough to support the weight of the men and horses trying to cross. The ice split, and much of the force drowned in the frigid water. According to legend, Burka cursed Hulagu, declaring, "Mongols killed by Mongol swords. If we were united, we would have conquered all the world." Even before the Golden Horde defeated Hulagu's army at the Terek River, Burka had formed an alliance with the Mamluk Sultan of Egypt. This was the first time a descendant of Genghis had shown any willingness to ally with a non-Mongolian against another Mongolian faction. The alliance was down to a shared religion and a desire to take vengeance for Hulagu's actions. While the alliance didn't result in a cohesive military unification, Hulagu was now stuck between the Golden Horde to the north and the Mamluk Sultanate to the south, which split his forces since he needed to defend 2 fronts. Most accounts of the Mamluk-Mongol alliance came from Mamluk sources, which stressed that their allies were good Muslims. Many historians believe that Burka saw the alliance as more of a submission by the Mamluks to the Golden Horde and the Mongolian Empire. The Golden Horde reached the heights of its power in the early mid-13th century under Ozbeg Khan. Like Burka, Ozbeg was a convert to Islam, although he also welcomed Christian missionaries. Under his rule, the Golden Horde was Turkified and Islamized further, and their subjects, the East Slavs, Mordvinians, Greeks, Georgians, and Armenians, paid tribute to the Horde. The Mamluk alliance was still in place, and the Horde also conducted extensive trade with the Mediterranean. At its peak, the Horde's territories bordered the Black Sea, the Caucasus Mountains, and the Iranian portion of lands controlled by the Mongolian Ilkhan dynasty. The start of the end of the Golden Horde came in 1346 when the Black Death began to spread. Around that time, the Horde was struck another blow with the death of Ozbeg's successor. In 1380, the Russian princes rose against the Golden Horde, and in 1395, the Turco-Mongolian conqueror Timur invaded Sarai Burqa, one of the capitals of the Golden Horde. Timur deported any skilled craftsmen in the area to Central Asia, robbing the Horde of them. By the 15th century, the Horde had split into several smaller khanates until the last remnant of the Golden Horde was destroyed by the Crimean Khanate in 1502. The Golden Horde didn't just consist of a band of Mongol warriors. The area under their command became one of the most powerful empires at the time. The Horde operated more like a kingdom, with a vibrant and varied culture and beautiful cities, supported by an established administration and protected by a well-trained army. Despite their outward ferocity, and unlike other empires at the time, the Golden Horde encompassed many different and diverse regions, each with its own religion and language. In general, the Mongols encouraged religious tolerance, non-discrimination, and respect, and the Golden Horde upheld these principles. How would you like to get a deeper understanding of history, impress your friends, and predict the future more accurately based on past events? If this sounds like something you might be into, then check out the brand new Captivating History Book Club by clicking the first link in the description. To learn more about the Golden Horde, check out our book, The Golden Horde, a captivating guide to the European appanage of the Mongol Empire that was ruled by the descendants of Genghis Khan. It's available as an ebook, paperback, and audiobook. Also, grab your free Mythology Bundle ebook while it's still available. All links are in the description. If you found the video captivating, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.